Mik'd Up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up, and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys will come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe, bro, I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there, he's punching me in the stomach, like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around? Who here thinks Ochiko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ochiko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for
Good
the
show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they should
Players. Look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now.
Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Thursday, September 12th. I hope everybody had a safe Hurricane Wednesday. Obviously, the boys were not in studio. We had some inclement weather that happened last night. Luckily, hopefully, I'm going to say this before I say luckily, hopefully everybody's okay. Obviously, Morgan City and the coastal regions around Louisiana got hammered. New Orleans ended up getting hit a little bit harder than they anticipated getting hit. Baton Rouge kind of skirted away from a lot of the bad stuff. A lot of wind, a lot of rain last night, but all in all, I think everybody kind of got escaped pretty favorably. We were hoping to have a show. Obviously, that was not going to happen, so we're going to have one today. You're not going to see this until Friday, so we're not going to try to trick you and make you think that it's live. We're very honest
Hollywood.
people. You know, we're not going to lie to you and say that we got hacked like Shannon Sharp. I'm proud of Shannon, though. He came back out and said, hey, I can't lie. Well,
he tried. He just
tried.
realized.
He realized, like, damn, this is not going to work. I'm not going to lie to you. It was me.
My team was on it.
And listen, here's the deal. He did nothing wrong. You
No.
know, proud of him for owning up to it.
I'm an active adult.
You own up to it. You can get past it. Nobody's going to keep denying. It's going to be a story that lingers on. So we're not going to lie to you. This show is being recorded. We're going to post it tomorrow. It is our loosey-goosey Thursday/Friday show. LSU's on the road. this weekend. First SEC game of the season on the road at South Carolina. South Carolina's coming off a big SEC win last week against Kentucky on the road, 31-6. They are now at home, 11 o'clock game. Some of that weather that we got here in Louisiana is going to be up there, a lot of the rain, so seems to be kind of a sloppy game. A lot of conversation right now around the defensive side of the football on some changes and some guys kind of forcing their way into the lineup. We're going to get into that. I know a lot of people have a lot of conversation and a lot of opinions on what they want to do with Harold Perkins. The moves that are anticipated to happen this weekend, seems like Harold's going to be put in a position that me and Jay Mitch have been talking about for a while. Lloyd has even mentioned it, but to talk about is, hey, we need to get him after the quarterback, let him go out there and roam and do certain things. Can't put him on the edge. He's not an edge guy. You're taking away a lot of his ability to be a great football player and limiting him to one thing, and he's not built for that, just that. But if these moves happen and he does move into that star position, which has been talked about, to me, I think that is the best fit for him. It allows him to move around, get creative with where they put him, allow him to come from every direction. He's athletic enough to cover. He's fast enough to cover. Obviously, we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's another position for him to learn. We'll see what that transition is like. But that's a huge storyline going into the game. The other huge storyline is obviously LSU's offensive line versus South Carolina's defensive line. They have an end who is a freshman. What is his name, Lloyd?
Dylan Stewart.
Dylan Stewart. He's a freshman. He's 6'6", 240. That's a guy that comes off the end.
6'6", almost 250.
Yeah, almost 250. As a freshman, he's got 2.5 sacks. Seems very pliable. Gets really down on the ground. Gets underneath the tackles. Is able to get to the quarterback. South Carolina's defensive strength is getting after the quarterback. They have 26 pressures and 8 sacks in 2 games. I get it. They haven't played all of the best competition, Old Dominion, and then Kentucky, but they still have to get after the quarterback, and they do it at a high rate. So I think that's going to be one of the bigger storylines that we have. I think I just glitched. I said bigger. Yeah. I glitched.
I thought you were just trying to emphasize, No,
I had a little glitch. It's okay.
Reset it.
Yeah, let me. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of conversation on that. It's Thursday night football. Dolphins at Bills. I have still not bet on an NFL game this year. I'm very excited to say that. But I have bet on college football, and we are trending upward on college football. The Mik'd Up parlay hit last year. I think it was last week.
There you go.
It was a plus 590 odds. We have another Mik'd Up parlay. We're going 2 weeks in a row. It's plus 6 something. We'll have the odds on there. We're going to talk about why we like the teams that we picked and talk about some of the other games that we like. So a lot of gambling conversations, and we're gonna just bring the juice today. Lloyd, how'd you fare yesterday in the hurricane? What'd you do? I was bored all day.
Yeah, because you were all pent up and looking for something to do. I was like, I don't think we're allowed to really do anything. There's nothing to
Can't do anything.
So I
almost tried to do my short game. Try to go to the chipping and putting green.
I'm sure it was closed. Yeah,
it was too rainy for that. Yeah.
No, I didn't do anything. I think we all did nothing. I
can't.
Yeah.
That was tough for me.
I just stayed at the crib.
Jay, how'd you fare?
I was chilling, man. Yeah, I got a little elevation, so I kind of got to watch the weather. I kind of enjoyed my day.
Yeah.
Kind of enjoyed it.
It was great until I woke up early and I was like, I'm gonna go work out, and then I'm gonna try to get some work in, and
everything's clean.
I got some work, and then you realize damn, I got nothing to do all day, nowhere to go. No, everybody's home from work. Long day, but it was good. We got through it. I'm glad everybody ended up safe, at least on our end. Y'all's end, everybody's good. Itching to get back out here with the boys. Talk some football, talk some sports, talk all the things that we want to talk about. The big conversation is the LSU South Carolina. The reason why we're recording the show on Thursday, member guest, golf tournament this weekend. Got pushed back. It was supposed to be today, Friday and Saturday. Now it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Weather?
Obviously, yeah. The course is in great shape considering it's just a little wet, so they're gonna spend today trying to get it dried up and figure it out. So gonna be a nice day. I'm gonna have the iPad charged, ready to go, mounted up on the golf cart.
That was gonna be my first question.
No doubt. It's I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get it mounted. I think I'm gonna do a hotspot on the phone. make sure that everything's Gucci, and get locked in. You know, you're gonna talk about wrapping it on there.
Yeah.
I really wish if they were smart, they would make the GPS just be able to watch the game.
Yeah.
You can do that. That's a thing. You can definitely do that.
I think it costs a little bit more scratch to be able to go.
Well, at least let us jailbreak it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's got to be a way to do that.
AirPlay it from my phone.
You maybe I should get you on that. You always find the legal stuff. Can you find that out? See if I can do that?
I know how to get into like the what is it?
To where you take the GPS off?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I saw that on Instagram.
That works.
Does it? You tried it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need that though. I need the TV on there.
Right. I don't know how to AirPlay it from your phone to the little cart
Yeah,
screen.
the
But that would be
iPad-
great if they
the
had just
iPad may be the
live
move.
television on there. You're like, oh, it's like an airplane.
Yeah, the iPad may be the move then. You know.
The thing about that is there's nowhere to really put it. It needs to be like in a place where everybody can see it. But in a golf cart,
Well,
they manufacture it to where you can't even put your phone in certain spots that you need it to be.
Yeah.
It's tough because it's like not quite long enough or not quite wide enough, so it just slides around.
Wait, the iPad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I've never brought an iPad in. What is it, a Shannon Sharp conversation?
Hey, the best. Ocho Cinco. Chad Johnson now. It's not Ocho Cinco anymore.
I think he is Ocho.
I thought he changed it. It's Ocho, but didn't he legally change his name back?
I don't know.
Anyway, the best was he's like, hey, you gotta work on your cardio.
Yeah.
Like, you know, proud of you, but gotta work on the cardio. You got a breath. Can't be having you.
What did he say? He said something about it. At least we know it was a Michelle, not a Mike. Oh, man. What a situation.
Then Michelle Beadle comes out. She goes, it was not me.
Michelle Smallman did the same thing. They all work at ESPN, or Michelle Beadle used to. It's like bad day to be a Michelle because
Wow.
everybody's looking at us.
Yeah.
Who was
Wasn't
it?
me.
Yeah.
Wasn't me. But anyway, you know, it happens. It's the circle of life. You know, it's part of life. And he owned it. And
Not much.
it
from
probably
now,
went
we'll
from
find out.
mistake of the day to not, but maybe it's still the mistake of the day. Who knows? We don't know. You're going to tell us about that at the end of the show. Let's get to the LSU South Carolina conversation. LSU's coming off two games that I think game one they played well. Obviously, they lost. Game two, they won. And people are probably more up in arms after game two than they are after game one. Now you go into game three on the road, 11 o'clock game against a team who just beat beat Kentucky 31-6 on the road after they struggle with Old Dominion, but you know, put some fear into the fans' minds. Kind of makes me a little nervous. I don't think that they're better than LSU, top to bottom, on the roster, on the field, but you're going on the road, and so for me, it's like I just need to see them get out there. The longer I think about it, the more I'm like, shit, let's just go and start the game. The spread's 7. Don't know. I want to take that. I really think that they can cover the 7 points, but if the weather's supposed to be rainy like it's supposed, they're anticipating, and LSU hasn't been able to run the ball the way they thought they were going to be able to run the ball, at least so far this season, I don't know if the weather's going to end up being an equalizer. How do we feel, our initial thoughts on this game right now with, you know, after watching the first 2 games this season?
I'll be honest with you, outside looking in, this one scares the hell out of me.
Yep.
Like I do think that this is a team that's probably – I'm not going to sit here and say that I think this is a great ball club. I don't. I do think it's a ball club doing this. I do think it's a program doing this from where it's kind of been over the past 10, 15 years, if you will. Yeah, like you go there 11 a.m. There's some weather rolling in, so who knows how much we'll be able to throw it and do what we've done recently over the past 2 weeks. Well, right, so you're going to have to probably get some more of that running game going. That obviously hasn't gone well for us so far, but it does bode well in the sense of maybe you can neutralize Dylan Stewart a little bit with that. But man, this is a tough game, and I do think, like, if you go into this game and you're 2-0, does it probably scare me a little bit? Yeah. And would it be a huge letdown if you lose it? Yeah. But it's even worse when you go into a 1-1, because to sit here and say if you start the season 1-2 and basically think that you're probably going to run the table and or maybe win, maybe lose one more the rest of the year is, I mean, the chances of that are super slim. Like, I don't love this opportunity. You're looking at a quarterback for them, Lenore Sellers, who first game of the season, 43% passing. Second game of the season against supposedly a better Kentucky team on the road at Kentucky, he bumps that up to 71.4%, right? So they've gotten better. He's gotten better. Now they're going into game 3 at home. you would imagine that you're going to get a better version of them. So I think this is going to be a very tight ball game. You got College game day being there. The atmosphere is going to be there. I'm looking forward to them, but I'm telling you, this is if they're not able to get this dub on the road, which I think is a huge game for them, and I think this is actually being said inside the building, ring the damn alarms, because it's going to be some smoke in the city at this point.
Well, because Lloyd's favorite person was also bored yesterday on Twitter during the hurricane, and he was taking some Q&As. He's adamant LSU's going 8-4 this year.
Who is this?
Your favorite? Your favorite media personality?
Mm-hmm.
The sky's falling guy. Oh, we're terrible. You had a lot of his quotes in our document last show.
Just some people get more nervous than others.
8-4 is what he says. I don't think we're going to be 8-4, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
What do you think?
LSU's 8-4. I'm of the other side of the camp, I believe, in this conversation, whereas everybody seems to be a little bit nervous. I didn't really see anything that would make me ring the alarm bells, like Jared said. Like, I get it. If you want to go that way, I could see it too.
If they lose.
Yeah, if they lose, for
he's
sure.
He's if they lose, the alarm sounded.
Then you're in 8-4 territory.
Yeah.
But like before the year and leading, I don't think South Carolina's done anything in my mind to make this game bigger than what it was when you looked at the schedule at the beginning of the year. When after LSU lost to USC, it became very much, all right, your next big test will be Ole Miss, right? And now going into this week, for some reason, it's everything has changed. I guess the Kentucky win that South Carolina pulled the upset quote.
The next couple of days, so should be fine there. But go ahead.
It'll probably be a little sloppy.
Maybe, yeah. And here's my next question, right? Like, their strength is their ends, right? Getting after the quarterback. Our strength is
offensive ends.
Our
tackles.
Left and right tackles, right? So their strength is into our strength on the offensive line. I think that's a very intriguing matchup. If LSU is able to keep Nussmeier dry, right, upright, and allow him to go through the same things he's been going, I think that they're going to be just fine. Now, I do think that they're going to have to run the football. My question is, and I don't know the answer to this, I haven't done a lot of film study, but my question is, they're great at getting after the passer. How good are they with their run defense on their defense?
Well, that's where they gave it up last week. They gave up 140 yards rushing, but that's the point. Like, it may not be great weather. They gave up 140 a week ago, but we haven't run the ball well. Let's just call a spade a spade. I get what we ran for statistically in game one, but as a group, when you look at it, run to run and how we're doing it, you take out that one huge run by John Emery in game one. We haven't run the ball really well. So is this the game where they figure out or they finally say, we got to go at them to kind of neutralize these bookends that they have? Maybe, hopefully. I hope that's something you can put in it, but I just, like I said, both teams are going to be up for this one. I think it's a huge test for them, and I think it's something that they're looking at that they marked on their schedule as, hey, this is our first test. Maybe not LSU feels that way, but this is our first test, which inherently makes it a bigger game. So I know what that stadium's like. I know what the atmosphere is like there. I know how they're going to be looking at this game. Yeah, this one is because of what's already happened on the schedule. Like I said, if you're going into this game 2-0, it doesn't scare me. It would be a bad loss if you lose it, but there's also still room for you to do what you need to do the rest of the year. It scares me when I go up in Ormond being on the outside looking in because you already have one loss.
Yeah.
You take another one this week, and you ain't running the damn table.
Right.
So, like, that's kind of where I look at it, where I'm like,
I think,
and this team doesn't look like they're as bad as what we kind of thought they were after the Old Dominion game. So, that's where it changes for me.
And if LSU comes out and takes care of business and does the things that we think that they should do and that they can do, and they go out there and they dominate, and let's say they win by, 10 points, all right, and look good doing it, I think the conversation next week is completely different. You're like, oh, okay, wow, we panicked, and we were worried about a lot of these things that we only gave them 2 games to, like, really iron out. And now that we saw them go on the road against an SEC team who is 2-0 on the year and go out there and do it, no matter what SEC team you're playing, they're still in the SEC, right? Like, South Carolina, 2 years ago, they had 2 really big upsets, right? Was it 2 years ago?
I believe so.
And so anything can happen in this league. And so to be able to go out and do that and then put out a good performance, I think you're going to hear the narrative change a lot, right? Vegas likes LSU. They have them at 7-point favorites. I I think you're going to see a lot. To me, it's all about controlling the line of scrimmage on the offensive side. Their quarterback can move around. He's going to give some issues. That brings me to my next conversation.
Well, before you even go that far, I think so let's say LSU goes in there and gets the win. I think the national narrative stays a lot where it's at. I do think the national narrative looks at this LSU team and whether they were undefeated going into this game and or have lost 2 games going into this game. I think they look at that Ole Miss game as a game where we figure out a lot about either team and going which way. I think that stays a lot the same after this game, unless it were to be some kind of, 45-3 mud stomping or something like that, which I don't foresee happening anyway.
Right.
So.
Right. Lloyd?
I think LSU's defense is better than what people are giving it credit for. I understand what happened against Nichols, but I also don't think – I think that was LSU working on a bunch of different things to be able to get right for the rest of the year. It's a game that you can go out there and you feel like you can win at any time. And what they did offensively, it became very much like pick a number that you want to do the way that they were throwing the football. Where I do have some concern is you would like to, while Brian Kelly came out and said that, hey, look, we called this many run plays, we checked out of them here, and that's why the run numbers or the play calling looks the way that it does. Still, at some point, I know the numbers are the numbers, but you'd like to see LSU kind of line up and work on running the football.
No doubt.
Regardless of who.
But at the end of the day,
it's smarter football.
Exactly. Like at the end of the day, I would rather, hey, I have enough confidence in my quarterback and the guys around him to say, hey, we believe that if the front and the look isn't right for a run, we have the ability and know that y'all are going to be able to handle checking out of that because we have all the confidence in the world and you being able to execute that. I'm okay with that.
Me too.
Right now.
I mean, that's not even okay. That's exactly what it should be.
Right. No doubt.
I don't need to see you just forcing the run and thinking that. No. That's where it should be. That's what you would expect out of a quarterback that's pretty much been in the same system for 3.5 years. Like, you should have that ability to be able to go to the line, read it, check it, read it, and get out of it if you need to. So I'm fine with the ratio, if you will. It's about the efficiency that we haven't run with.
Yeah,
That's
and when it is a run look and they're in the front where you're supposed to run, you should be able to run, right? Like, that is, to me, the issue. It's been 2 games. Let's see what happens this next week. It only literally takes.
That would be a mess.
That would have been a disaster. My sunflower seeds, I thought I put on the ground. But that's going to be if they can go out there and establish a run. I think it's one of those things that they're going to be able to build off of. The other side, you talked about the defensive side of the football. Obviously, not having Jacoby and Guillory is a big deal. They're going to have some guys to replace them. I'm interested to see what that looks like. Our front 4 has been our front 7 really has been pretty dominant and disruptive the first 2 games. Now you take Jacoby and Guillory out, you're going to start Dominic McKinley's going to get some more playing time. I'd imagine Relaford's going to get some more playing time. You're going to have a lot of guys moving around, and guys are going to have to step up. But one of the guys that has stepped up and has been very fans have been very vocal about wanting to see him play a lot more starting from his freshman year last year, or 2 years ago, right? He's a junior now. Weeks or is a sophomore?
He's a sophomore.
So last year as a freshman, hey, this guy needs to be in the game. This guy needs to play more. And, platoon. Well, now Brian Kelly's come out and said he is no longer a platoon player. He's got to play. We're going to have some tough conversations with guys in the linebacker room about getting this guy in there. Every time he comes in the game, he's flying around, he's making plays, and I think he's a guy you have to have in your defensive rotation in the starting lineup. That now opens the door of, okay, now what do you do with – what linebacker do you move? Greg Penn is a linebacker. There ain't no other position you can put Greg Penn at to put him on the thing. He's a guy you got to get there. He's a veteran. He understands it. He's a very solid linebacker. What weeks? Linebacker. The wild card is Harold Perkins. Everybody wants to know, what do you do with Harold Perkins? How do we play him? How do we get the most out of him? In my opinion, probably doesn't mean shit to a lot of people, but in my opinion, putting him in the star position based off of his athleticism, based off of his ability to get after the quarterback and move around and do these types of things, be able to keep the quarterback in contain whenever the quarterback is running, in my position, the star position for him seems like it could be a really, really good fit. And so I'm kind of excited to see what he looks like there. How do you feel about that?
I mean, yeah, like it could be a really good fit for him. The opportunity to play the game from that spot as opposed to sticking to principles on somewhat of the inside linebacker feel. I think it might be a little bit better for him. It might free up his mind a little bit. It might make him play a little bit faster. It might make him kind of not think as much, if you will. I think it could be good for him. I just, once again, we kind of tapped somebody. We saw how much he popped last year. Obviously, he was young. And then this year he's come in. I think adding Whit Weeks into the lineup because of the way he plays, because of the nose he has for the ball, because of how aggressive he is, I think having him in the lineup pretty much every play, I think is going to be huge for that defense as well. And this is a defense that, do I look at it and say it's filled with stars and first rounders all over the place? No, but I do think as a unit, it's a lot better than what people are giving them credit for.
Yeah.
Because of what it was last year and because of what happened last year. And I think as the year continues to unfold, you're going to see that and kind of understand that a little bit more and more each day.
No doubt. Lloyd, how do you feel about it?
I am.
You don't want everybody to see you today?
Oh,
There you
I
go.
got the camera set up.
All right.
I
You look good today, so
Thank you.
you're welcome.
As far as the Harold Perkins at star position goes, I think it'll probably be given too much credence for making the position change if they do. I think that what Perk was going to do in this game against South Carolina could have happened from linebacker or star. Like, so that's why I'm interested to see the reaction whenever if he plays well, because it's a quarterback that this is when Perk has made his hay. Anytime he plays somebody that has the dual threat ability and wants to run, Harold Perkins usually steps up and makes plays.
I will kind of, and I'm going to let Jared kind of expound on what I'm about to say. I agree in a sense of like, hey, you're spying the guy, you're in charge of the quarterback, don't let him get outside content, all these types of things. I get it. But being from the star position, I think it allows them to be a little bit more creative, and now you're not taking away a linebacker from his responsibility and say, hey, we're just going to keep you there and spy him. I think you're going to be able to give the star position, which is known to be kind of a roaming type of position, you're going to give him the ability to do things a little bit more creatively, in my opinion. And that let's let the football guy give us a little bit more of the detail.
I think Harold's got the ability of playmaker, and I think right now the lens that he's stuck in and how everyone, especially LSU fans, but even on the national media as well, as they look at him as like game wrecker. Oh, he's got to be in the backfield. And I'm not sure that that's how you're going to see him going forward. But if he has the ability to make plays behind the line of scrimmage and or has the ability to cause fumbles and kind of be just a game wrecker from different spots, I think that's when it comes back to, oh, this is the Harold that it is, or the Harold that honestly probably is supposed to be, in my mind. I think we kind of got to get off the thought of, oh, he's just a pass rush specialist and that's all he can do, because I think there's more in there. And I think they're trying to find the perfect way to unlock that, and maybe putting him at the star position is going to allow that a little bit better.
Yeah. He, the star position in my mind, like, it feels like, oh, that's a playmaker spot, right? Like, hey, you go out there, use your instincts, be a playmaker, and go get the football. I think last year Harold proved that he can cover, in a sense, right? He can run. Now, as a linebacker, you're usually running and covering with your back to the quarterback, so it's a little bit different. You're trying to either chase a receiver in motion, or if it's man coverage or whatever it is, and the guys come, or you're chasing the running back out of the backfield. Usually, you're in kind of a trail position, right?
Yeah, I wonder here. Here's the thing that I do wonder when it comes to that star position is if they factored this opportunity or this possibility, moving him into this role at some point during the year, when they thought of, hey, let's go ask him to put on weight and put on a little bit more weight. Like, was this possibly in their mind saying, like, hey, if it doesn't work here, we can move him here, but the weight gain won't really do much to how he plays this game.
Right.
I wonder if that was kind of into the thought process of it all. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, because Major Burns is kind of that hybrid. I think that if you put them side by side as far as size goes, like.
Yeah, but I just mean personally, right? Like you can't really, to me in my mind, you can't really go, well, Major does it at this weight, but you don't, because you know, like I know, hey, if you played at 210 and all of a sudden you said I want to get to 215 and you don't move as well, you're not as healthy,
right.
Things don't stay. People change with weight,
No doubt.
and I wonder if they thought like, if we're not asking him to take that beating and have to do that inside, and we want him to move around and
Maybe
move
he can
freely,
lean back up a little bit.
Did we think of that in the
Yeah.
offseason when we said we want you to kind of go up and wait a little bit?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering.
It's gonna be interesting, and I'm with you, Lloyd. I don't know if we're gonna see a ton of it this week as far as what they can do, but as a linebacker, as a guy who has been there for a couple years, like he is familiar with the roles that he needs to play. I'm not worried about him understanding assignments and figuring out where he needs to be. So, to me, that's going to be an interesting dynamic this week. I'm interested in the front seven, obviously, and then look, what?
I mean, it's just gonna be funny when every LSU like quote unquote fan and their
You
mother
can do something crazy like, "Wow, this is it."
But yeah, they're gonna have this big overreaction. Then
It's one way or the other. That's what I mean. Like we're stuck into seeing him in one lens. So like if it's not 2 fumbles forced in a sack, it's this is not right for him. Even though he might have 10 tackles. Like
No,
like that's how it's gonna be looking.
yeah, and everybody's gonna be like, well, they moved him to star. It's like you don't know if they moved him to star or not because you don't really know what you're looking at. But you just kept hearing this because it was in the chat this morning. It's like I heard they're moving him to star. It's like you didn't hear fuck all. Like I really just you haven't talked to the coaches. You're reading a story that was online, but you didn't hear anything. You read something.
And
that
this
was
is
message
the rumor.
board. Yeah,
it hasn't been talked about. The coaching staff hasn't.
the only thing they talked about was putting weeks on the field more, and then everybody led to well, then you got to move Perk to star. It's like those two things don't have to actually live in the same world.
Right. What if you're playing? What if you end up going to a 4-3, which is not?
Yeah, or they go to like the Predator package when it's Harold Perkins out more of an outside role, but it's not him on the star. Major Burns is still on the field.
And this could be game specific. It could be because of what South Carolina does as a team. They feel like Witt has to play more this week.
Yeah.
You just never know.
I just think it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like if he plays middle linebacker, they're still gonna be like he's playing star. No, he's not.
No doubt.
I still think he's gonna play. I think he's gonna have a breakout game.
You want to?
Saturday.
This is my thing. You don't necessarily need him to make
every
have
play.
3 sacks. You don't need to see him in the backfield every play. You want to see him involved in majority of the plays, whether he's making the tackle, whether he's around there, whether he's you want to see him just flying around where the ball's at. That's what you want to see.
When you think of Harold Perkins this year, it feels like this is not a stretch. You can only really pinpoint one play. USC when he was in the backfield, he kind of tackled both, and that's like, Harold Perkins is here.
But that's
tackles.
his strength.
Right.
That's his thing. Come off the edge, get in there, do what you need to do, put pressure on the quarterback. It was
the thing is like you say that, and honestly, to me, like I feel like there was multiple plays I saw him in the backfield blowing shit up that game. But I think the difference now is where I would like to see is him not be the one to have to blow it up. Him the one to be the actual making the play, like he made the play on that play. So I think, like you said, the more we can see his hat on the football when the whistle's being blown is when you feel like, oh, okay, that's Harold Perkins. That's what I want to see.
You remember like all the other linebackers that we've had that have been really good in the NFL, right? Like Patrick Queen. Every play, it felt like Patrick Queen was in the middle of it. It didn't maybe not making the tackle. Maybe he was the one. Maybe he turned the running back or quarterback, whoever was inside, making some sort of play, right? Quan Alexander, all those guys.
Devin White.
Like they are in the plays. Not necessarily making every tackle, but in and around the football every single time. Tyrann Mathieu. Like those types of guys. And I bring up Tyrann because Tyrann, cornerback, but he really wasn't a cornerback at LSU. He played a little bit of everything, kind of that roving position. So that's what I want to see. Just be around the football. Just be a football player. Go out there. You see the ball, go get the ball. Hey, Brucey, we need the football.
I'm glad you brought that up, too, because like I said, I think a lot of people – because he was so damn dynamic rushing from the edge his freshman year, a lot of people see him as it's either got to be a ton of sacks, and then if you're moving him off that spot, you're like, well, he's got to play like Tyrann Mathieu. And it's got to be that kind of – bro, what Tyrann did here is damn near goated.
Nobody's ever –
There's been nobody that's been in that many damn big plays almost game after game after game after game, right? So, like, to just sit here and think that somebody's got to do that to be quote-unquote successful – perfect what you said, because think of the Devin Whites. Think of the Ali Highsmiths. Think of those guys that are literally nose for the ball all around it. That is his mold. That's what he can do. Now, I'm not saying he can't go out there and do what Tyrann did or have these kind of plays. I'm not saying that he can't, but to think that that's what it has to be, or else it's we need to move him to a different position. That's ridiculous.
Right. To expect a Tyrann Mathieu type output, which has happened one time since. It
has not. Tyrann isn't going to have 4 sacks in a game. He's going to have 4 interceptions in a game.
I'm saying, but that type of playmaker on the defense has happened one time, and everybody that's ever been watching football, like there's only been one Tyrann Mathieu.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, that to be the expectation is absurd.
Like just like everybody, you can't have another Joe Burrow.
Right, like
Joe
Jayden
for
Daniels
60
was great. Touchdowns.
Jaden Daniels was great. Different quarterback. You just can't you're gonna have one of those guys, right? And can't compare anyone to Jaden Daniels. You can have one of that guy. You know what I mean? Like it's just when you have got players like that, it's hard. You just can't really compare. One-on-ones are tough to compare. You know, there's only one of them for a reason. So
but that said, I understand that Harold Perkins, after that, I guess the Arkansas game, is when it became, this guy's an elite playmaker, can change football games. He damn near won you that football game.
Absolutely.
And so I get that some of the frustration, but that was against a quarterback who was their backup and had no business trying to do really anything.
And this is when
he
was a freshman.
Well, this is
and nobody really knew
quarterback.
about
This
that.
is also too. Nobody was game planning. For him at that
exactly.
point. Like nobody was like, hey, nowhere. Well, now 7 is before. As soon as we step out the huddle, identify where he's at. That's pretty much where everybody's at this point.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case at that point.
Yeah.
No, even Lane Kiffin was surprised to see him. He's like, "What changed?" Like they put 40 in. Like we didn't game plan for that.
And at that point too, 10 to 15 pounds less. Let's be honest. Like what offensive lineman who didn't know about him saw him and was like,
underestimated.
"Oh my God, how am I going to stop him? Oh my God, let me make sure I'm." Nobody was looking at him like that, respectfully.
Yeah.
And so like things change.
Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have it on my iPad.
I'm gonna have it on the
big TV.
Big TV.
Yep.
Watch party.
I'll be having some. I mean, that'll be the majority of the game I'm watching at 11. Right now, there's 2 big games because Alabama gets to play at Wisconsin. Right.
Same time.
I don't love that they're doing. Why they put? This is a not a great slate of college football games. Why are all the good ones playing in the morning? I don't understand that.
I don't understand. I don't understand having
Colorado State got the nightcap though.
Yeah, they always on TV. I don't understand having them all there. I do like having it because like the old way of it used to be is you got like no real matchups early in the day.
Right.
It was like all just nonsense games. Now I do like having some meaningful ones there, but not all of them. Like let's go ahead and spread this thing out throughout the day a little bit.
Is Big Noon kickoff? That is for the Big 10 or the Big 12?
That's the Big 12. No, Big 10.
Big 10.
And I guess that's what they're doing. It's a
Joel
little
and
bit of
Gus,
the
right?
yeah, the rivalry.
Which I like Joel.
Yeah,
On air.
I love Gus.
And I like Gus.
I like them both on air.
Yeah,
on
me
air.
too. They're a good combination.
Are you concerned at all about it with this LSU game it gets a little dicey early and your golf game's not great early and now you're
Nope. I've already thought about it. Nope.
You just live so pissed off in the cart and he's like, I'm not playing golf good either. I don't want to be here.
I'm gonna be in such a good mental headspace this weekend. I'm gonna be
such a fragile
in.
place to live.
Nope. I'm gonna be locked in. I'm gonna know where I'm at. I'm gonna know what my swing's like. Look, my partner's coming in here as a 4. He's gonna lock it in.
What happened last time that happened?
This is his 3rd time on the course. Okay, 3rd time in this tournament. I know he's gonna make the adjustments. I've already thought about it. In my head, I've told myself, listen, I visualize this is how it's gonna happen. I'm gonna hit a nice approach, and I'm gonna come back in. LSU's gonna get a touchdown. I'll be watching it while I'm driving to the ball. It's gonna be a lot of energy. Then I may eagle a hole, and then look, even if I duff one into the water,
get back.
It's okay.
LSU's gonna be
and
your
LSU
savior.
maybe give up a 60-yard touchdown. I don't care. I'm watching because it's about the entirety of the game and entirety of the match. You can't let one play define your game or define the round.
This is gonna be a disaster.
You know? So I'm locked in. Anyway, let's talk about gambling because.
Oh, and then the picks start going wrong.
Nope. We're not. They're not going to go wrong.
Yeah.
We're 1-1 on the parlays. Listen, if you bet, I wish. We need to keep track of the actual units, right? Like, hey, we lost the first week.
We won on
We won the second week. So now you're up. You're going to be up money for whatever if you bet the same amount of units. We have another one that we like this weekend. Now remember, these are all three of us have put together one team in this parlay. Now, I'm saying this because I'm holding my teammates in this room accountable. I have been the only one to take it to parlay. I hope people in the chat and I hope people part of our squad has taken it, but nobody in this room other than me has taken it, and I'm making that change. You've got to take if you're gonna participate. You've got to be in this thing with us. You got to be in the trenches, and you can't just talk about it verbally. You got. I don't care if you bet $1, Lloyd.
I'm in.
Gotta be in.
It only takes. You only have to miss one to really be like,
yeah,
never again.
That's it. And you missed it.
I did.
So
we'll
we're
do
not
it again.
missing this one. We're gonna
We'll
hit
do
this
it
one.
again.
That's why I gotta do it again. All right. So this is a plus 612 odds. This is on Caesar Sportsbook. Obviously, there's other sporting websites and sportsbooks that you can bet from. But my money is in this one right now, so I'm betting that. We took Notre Dame. This is Jared's bet. Notre Dame minus 9.5.
But you can get it at minus 10 some places too. So if you want to keep messing with Caesar, or you want to take somewhere else where you can get it at minus 10, you could.
Window
take a chance
shop.
at that.
Window shop.
Yeah, you can.
That's why I got it at minus 10. I'd rather there than.
Well, I
9.5.
like minus 9.5 because
Yeah.
now Notre Dame can win by 10 and still win instead of push, right? So it went down a half a point.
But my reason in there is you get your ass smacked last week.
Yep.
People basically ushered you into that at least 5th spot this year. They know they really don't have any room for error going on. And here's the biggest part for me. You take, which our Tiger fans are very comfortable with and obviously familiar with, Mike Denbrock, who is the OC there. You take the quarterback that came from Duke last year, first year there. I don't know if you know, but through 2 games right now, anybody know how many touchdowns he's thrown this year? 0. You think that's going to continue to go on? I don't. I think this is where he opens up at.
I also agree with you. That's why I liked it and we agreed on it. This is a pick. I will say this about Denbrock. Everybody thought when Denbrock left, holy shit, the passing game, they got Riley Leonard. He's going to do what he did with Jaden Daniels. Easy, right? Let's not give – now, I think he's a great offensive coordinator. I think he's going to be fine. But let's not give all the credit. Like, Jaden Daniels did a lot of work on his own. He was a super talented guy to be that good. It wasn't just because of the play calling and the offensive coordinator.
Let's be honest, too. Like, when you just think about that situation, what year did they pop? Year one together or year 2 together?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I expect them to be fine and be better at the back end of the year, Duke.
Yep.
I mean, I do get Notre Dame, but I expected to look a lot like LSU did early on. Like I said, he didn't throw any touchdowns in the first 2 weeks of the season. That's 8 quarters. He throwing some this week. They win by 10 plus.
By 10 plus. I like that. The next bet I took was Ole Miss minus 22.5. You may look at that and say, oh my God, that's a lot of points. Lane Kiffin is the head coach there. He is known for making statements in these games. And he's got it. He's probably got his best team in Oxford since he's been there. He's got a veteran quarterback. He's got a really good wide receiver who's returning. He's got a defensive line that feels pretty good. And they are poised to have a really good season. 22.5 points may look like a lot, but in the grand scheme of who Lane Kiffin is and what Ole Miss is trying to do, I can see them easily winning this game by 30 points plus. They're going to go out there in every game that they're going to play. They're going to try to make a statement. That's why I took Ole Miss minus 22.5.
A little interesting here on Wake Forest, but they lost the opener 31-30 to Virginia, who came back and scored 14 in the fourth. But they could score some points. They might be able to keep up a little bit with Ole Miss early on, and they smacked North Carolina A&T 45-13. So, quarterback's thrown for over 400 yards in both games and 4 touchdowns. So I'm just saying, early on, it might be a little bit of a nut squeeze.
And look, if you want to dabble with the over, I don't think that's a terrible call either. But you have to remember, the reason why Ole Miss's defense historically hasn't been that good is because of the front 7, right? Really, front 4, if we're going to be specific, like the defensive line. They are very confident in the guys they've brought in the portal and the guys they've recruited, that they've beefed up that defensive line. It's more of an SEC-style defensive line, more of a defensive line that Pete Golding is comfortable having. And so, I believe that their defense is going to be better this year than it has in the past. So 22.5 is my pick. Now, third one.
And Lane Kiffin, real quick, just to put emphasis on this, outscored their opponents 128-3 over the last 2 games. That's putting up some points.
And it's making statements. He wants people to talk about, man, did y'all see Ole Miss put up 70 points this week against Wake Forest?
And gave up 3?
He wants that. No doubt. Third bet of our parlay.
This is mine.
Third leg of the parlay is you.
I'm going back to the well with Boston College. I feel like they continue to be disrespected after the Florida State. That was not only a plus 17-point game where you were able to get 17 points in a game where it felt like they could win outright, which they also did against Florida State. So I took a money line and plus 17, hit that. So I'm back to the well again with Boston College against Missouri.
16 points, a lot of points.
A lot of points. A lot of points for a team that hasn't been out of any of the football games that they played. They haven't been getting blown out, and I believe their quarterback is good enough to keep them in every ball game that they play. Missouri hasn't given up any points this year, but they haven't played anybody this year. So they have to give up 16 right now.
Right? They're going to
That's
start the game
went-
down
that's
16
the way the
nothing.
gambling works. They've already given up 16 points.
Yep.
So-
I like that. I think
I love that one, too.
Boston College has been overlooked a little bit. Boston College, you don't look at them as like, oh, they're a powerhouse. They're going to win a bunch of games.
Bill
But they're
O'Brien,
scrappy.
baby.
They're going to. Bill O'Brien's there. He's he's a quarterback guy. He's going to be able to get these guys playing. And here's the deal, right? When you have that cushion in betting, a 16-point cushion, right? Let's say Missouri gets off to a really good start and scores 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. You get through it.
You're still
up,
winning.
dude. You're still up by 2 points. But then you continue to – you go out through the game. I can see, Boston College backdooring this thing. I can also see it being a tight game and they're covering the whole day, right? I just feel like 16 points is a lot. Oh, Missouri is very hyped up. Missouri's got a really good team. They're ranked really high, and they have a lot of guys coming back. But Boston College is going to go there as an underdog and as a team that's being counted out, and I like that dynamic. So I'm with you. I think that's a good parlay.
Also
Plus-
like them too in a sense because they, this isn't the Matt Ryan Boston College team, but their quarterback has grown in the passing game. He's got a coach like Bill O'Brien, Bob, running the show over there, and the guy's like, he's almost a carbon copy of Kyler Murray. So like his ability to run, move, kind of get out of jams and get in spots, you just feel like in a game where I just feel like in a game where if Missouri were to go out and score a lot, they're going to find a way to keep pace with them. They're going to find a way to score and kind of keep going. And there's no way Missouri's defense is going to keep going the way that they've gone already. I think this is one that stays within. I like it.
No doubt. Lloyd, you got any other bets that you like?
I'm
not touching the LSU game until the day of the game.
what happens if it goes to 8?
That would be very upset
9.
with myself, but
Yeah.
I may tease it down.
Yeah, that's what I did. I teased the Georgia game. I believe that they were in a spot where
What'd you tease it to?
17. It was at
See,
24.
I got at 24.
Right, so I moved it down to 17, and I paired that with LSU to make it a money line teaser. So LSU just has to win. Georgia, it feels like, is somehow a little underrated for as good as they've played the last 2 weeks. They made a massive statement with their defense against Clemson, which was a close game early, and then they kind of put the foot down.
Which is what I can kind of see maybe this game. I don't think it's ever going to be super close like that one was. But if Kentucky wants to come out and be scrappy and do whatever, and Georgia's only up by, 10 points or 14 points going into the fourth quarter, I can see that being extended.
Yeah, because I do believe that I think this game will probably be a little inflated because of what you just saw. Everybody remembers the last thing they saw in Kentucky shit the bed against South Carolina. So you only see the 10 points that they scored. Is that right? No, 6 points. 6 points, but it was a 10-6 game. So I could see Kentucky with a little bit of a bounce back, but their head coach don't even want to be there. So
well, and here's the
I
other
would
thing.
imagine it felt like that was a game last week where it decided which team was going to go up and which team was going to go down and ride with their coach, because now it feels like they're out on Stoops, and if Beamer's able to pick up a win here, like it feels like he could get an extension where it was looking like, I don't know if he's the guy.
Yeah,
What makes you think they're out on Stoops?
I think Stoops is out on Stoops. I don't know if he wants to do this anymore. He tried to go to A&M. They left him on the tarmac, and he comes back to Kentucky. And the way he talks about Kentucky, he's like, "We just don't have the players. Like, I don't know how to keep up." And it's just that's not very motivating. Or maybe it is, but he fucking hates his team. He's
maybe. I mean, I don't know if I don't think he hates his team, but like I think that his team they have a transfer quarterback from Georgia. That was the other thing that Jared said.
5-star transfer from Georgia.
Was supposed to be really good. Obviously,
It happens to Georgia a lot.
Huh?
It happens to Georgia a lot.
Well, I mean, because they have quarterback retention there as well, too.
talent.
Well, I mean, they got retention there too. Like
The
you could
quarterbacks
have
come
somebody
back.
like Carson Beck who could have easily been one of the top 3 quarterbacks that left last year if he chose to go to the draft. He came back. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit behind it another year. He chose to leave.
So he goes there. Obviously, he's going to try to figure that stuff out. Listen, in a game like this, the reason why teams like Georgia and when Alabama was doing what they were doing, the reason why they go out and extend these leads is because they make these offenses one-dimensional, right? So you go and you make it, you're up 10 points, 14 points, and these teams have to throw because they have to play catch-up. Now all of a sudden they pin their ears back, they go out and get it. These teams who aren't, maybe they have to play perfect football, aren't necessarily as talented top to bottom. They're going to go out there and then they're going to press, make a mistake, interception. Malachi Stark's probably going to have another one this week. Interception. Now all of a sudden that 14-point lead turns into a 30-point lead because it's a lot of pressing and it's a lot of, hey, we got to go out there and catch up.
And Georgia's probably very familiar with Brock Vandegrift.
The other conversation. So
Which he was 3 of 10 for 30 yards and interception last week.
right, not great.
Not great.
I
concussion.
like with that you tease Georgia to 17 with LSU at money line, makes it even money. I like Georgia at minus 24. What do you like? Do you like that? Do you have any other bets that you like specifically?
Oh, damn. What was the other ones I had in here?
I also like Tulane plus 13
Yeah, I
at
like
Oklahoma.
That's the other one I had. I like the Tulane plus 13. Not plus 13. I like the Tulane and Oklahoma over the 46.5. I like that. I like that there. Tulane's been a lot better the past couple years on offense. I don't think that's really stopped, even though they lost the quarterback, lost the head coach. I think they're still a good offensive ball club. I think Oklahoma's obviously a pretty good ball club offensively as well. I think this is easy. Hammer the over on this one.
I think Tulane's got a lot of momentum. They should have beaten Kansas State.
But that's what I wonder about the momentum.
But I think that they're gonna if they go out there they should have beat Kansas State. You go out there and you put a good performance against Oklahoma, and you do what you need to do the rest of the season. You're gonna put yourself in a position to be at that group of the highest ranked group of 5 team, right? Because you may have 2 losses at the end of the year, or 3 whatever it is, but you're gonna have 2 losses against ranked teams, and you probably should have beaten one of them. Now I don't know. They may end up beating Oklahoma outright. I don't think they're going to win outright, but I like the 13 points. I like the way they've been playing football. It just feels like Tulane over the last few years has been that team that says, hey, watch how good we actually are. I know we don't have the name recognition, but, we're going to
keep popping up.
They just keep popping up, and they keep playing well. I took West Virginia money line. It was
I like that one.
I think West Virginia was favored by 2 against Pitt. It was like minus 110 were the odds. Money line was minus 125, so I just said.
I don't love the numbers in it, but I love money line on that one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take the money line, and then obviously the Notre Dame and Boston College. That's what. Oh, Arizona plus 7. I also like that. They are playing. They're at Kansas State, which is the team that obviously just beat Tulane. But Arizona's plus 7. Arizona is actually a little bit more talented than you may realize.
What's that over under? Do you have it in front of you?
Do not, but I can find it for you.
Arizona can score.
Yes, they can. Kansas State Arizona game is. I don't know. I'm working on it. I can't find it. I wish there was a search button on this thing.
I just go straight to the Google.
That's probably the move.
CBS Sports has it.
What time is the game at? Over-under 60.
7 p.m.
Yeah, over-under is 60.
That's high.
It's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Not Saturday. So
the Arizona game?
Yeah, Friday the 13th. What a crazy week it's been. You had Hurricane, September 11th, and Friday the 13th all in 1 week down here in Louisiana. Crazy week.
It's like a week to stay your ass in the house.
Yeah, crazy week.
Let's go.
Crazy
Stay
week.
inside.
I'll probably dabble the Alabama, Wisconsin.
You won't even be able to watch it.
Nope, but I'll be able to keep up with the score. But this is what I want to do. I like to go look at the website that our betting friends gave us, and I like to go see where the action's being placed on these games. Right. So the LSU. Where is it? Such a crazy game. They don't even have it on here. LSU South Carolina. Whoa. Give me what y'all think this is. Boy.
Oh, where the money is?
Yep. What do you think the percent? Who has? What are the percentage of bets?
Percentage of the bets are on LSU. The money's on South Carolina.
Both percentage of bets 74% South
80.
Carolina. 73% of the money on South Carolina. I like that.
Me too, but that's bizarre.
Bizarre. Nope, they're not high on LSU.
No.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Because
I think this convinced me. I'm taking -7.
I thought the 7 was low. But maybe I could be totally wrong. I've been pretty staunch on LSU that this could be a pretty big win in terms of like disparity in points. I think that they could run away with this.
The line hasn't moved at all. The over/under has dropped 3 points.
The weather.
Yeah. No, 4 points. Yeah, that's crazy.
Low on the Tigers, huh?
That's fun.
I mean, it's gonna have to be fun. I don't have a choice.
Yeah,
And
it's already happened.
That same percentage, flipped it, and it's on Boston College. So Boston College, 71% of the bets and 70% of the money.
I'll say, yeah, I like the 16.
So we're gonna stay with that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like it because it's LSU, obviously, but I like it when it's my bet.
Right.
So, but yeah,
Oof.
that's what we got. If you got any other bets, Lloyd, here's the deal. Actually, you didn't tell us last week, did you? You kept them to yourself, you motherfucker.
Did I?
Yep.
I
Kept
did.
them to yourself. Selfish. You're a selfish person.
Selfish gambler. I don't like to talk about gambling.
Yeah, you do.
I don't like to talk about
Yes,
not
you do.
not when my bets are in. I like to just if you say anything about them, I feel like they're gonna lose. So I just keep it to myself.
Whatever you say. Are y'all touching the NFL game tonight?
Josh Allen has never lost a Thursday night game.
How many has he played?
That's a good question.
2.5 is a spread. Kind of like that.
It's gonna be a great game.
The money is on the Dolphins. The percentage of the bets on the Bills. 73% of the bets and 53% of the money is on the Dolphins.
And he's 10-2 against Miami. But I was listening to Herbie talk. He's on the call.
He's on the
hardest
call.
hardest working man in sports. He said he looks at dew point for the weather because that's when it becomes humid and muggy and
hard to
hot
grip the football
and just like sweaty. And it was at like
Very hot.
88% dew point, and 50 to 60 is normal. So
yeah, it's gonna be
like
humid.
Well, Florida weather.
Yeah.
They're from Buffalo, so it's got a little different.
What about the New Orleans Saints this weekend?
That was exciting to see, huh?
Yeah, big game.
Huge
boys.
game for them.
They got it's their first.
This would be
big
a
test.
huge upset if they go there and get
You
it
go
done.
to Dallas to play the Cowboys. A lot of Louisiana fans that are Cowboy fans, so it's obviously going to be pretty electric, I would imagine, in Dallas, especially after the week after the hurricane. People probably want to get out of Louisiana for a minute. I like the Saints. I like where they're going. I like where they're trending. I don't know what the line is on that, but I like where they look. The line is 6.5. Cowboys are favored by
So wait,
6.5.
you think the Saints win this game?
I don't know. I'm not gonna say win, but
I don't. I really don't. I don't think they win this game, but
they're
I
gonna
do
play
think.
well.
Yeah, I do think how they show in this game means a lot. Like you're looking at a team. I think what are they? 2 years in a row of 12 wins in the regular season.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously they've done what they've done in the playoffs. We all know about that. But it's still a really good team. They still have another really good D coordinator that they basically just inserted with this, the talent that they have on that group already. I think this is like one of those situations where early on in the season, how you play against a team like this, then this is never talked about like inside of the building. But I think how you play against a team like this tells you a lot about where your team is and where you're going. There's a lot of players in that Dallas Cowboys space where they've been here for the past couple years. They know what they're doing. They've been in that system. The Saints are kind of trying to come back around and kind of get their thing going. And when you go and play a team like this that's kind of been together, how you play against them, whether you beat them or not, kind of gives you – it's kind of like a litmus test. It kind of gives you where, hey, this is where we're trying to go. This is what we need to do, and this is how it stacks up against a team that's been doing these things for the past couple of years. Right. So I think that's kind of huge in this game. I don't think they win this game, but I'm interested to see and curious if they can actually play a well-played ball game, because I think that'll tell you a lot about where they'll be – the rest of the year, especially when you're looking at kind of the NFC right now.
I agree. I mean, I think that have that type of creativity and be able to have some production on the ground no matter who the defense is, because that's what San Francisco does, right? That running scheme is able to gain yards and move forward no matter who they're playing against. They did it against a really good defense last week, and so if they can continue to do that, then I think that's going to give a lot of people a lot of confidence in the future of the offense and the future of New Orleans Saints. So we'll see. I'm still not gonna touch NFL as of now until I fall off the wagon. I haven't fell. I'm holding on strong.
Hold on.
I've gotten 2 chips. I've gotten 2 sober chips for those things.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks of not betting.
All it takes is 3 weeks of decent college betting, and he is dragging behind that wagon.
Tell you what, we hit that part. When we hit that parlay again, it's gonna be interesting to see how I feel.
Can't go broke taking a profit.
All right. Anything else you want to mention, Lloyd?
No.
Anything else you got to touch on? This
Mm-mm.
is a nice loosey goosey Friday here in Indigo. We're at they camped out here during the hurricane.
Did they?
They were here. Indigo Papers. If you are interested in looking or dabbling with the THC CBD seltzers, they are great. This one right here is berry lemonade. It is a very, very flavorful. 8 milligrams of THC in this, and listen, it's good. It's a good thing to try. It's not gonna make you feel like you're on the moon or anything like that.
But if you do,
if that's not something that you want. What's that?
But they do have the ability to do that.
They
with
do.
some
They have some different levels.
levels of strength.
Yes. And if there's something that you do enjoy, you want to think about or look at some of the other products they offer. They offer, actual, gummies and those types of things, tinctures, all this kind of stuff. Check their website, indigopapers.com. But these are our friends. These are our partners. This is our home. They've allowed us to make our studio, and we appreciate our partnership with them and look forward to growing that.
Very
Obviously,
grateful.
what's that?
Very grateful.
Very grateful. We're obviously going to have, anytime they bring in, look at that thing.
What's that?
Anytime they
Ooh.
anytime they bring in new products, we'll tell you about them right here. But it is, check them out. If you've ever wanted to learn, look, it's very educational. They explain all these types of things. So give them a look. You can get all these Indigo seltzers at Rouse's now. I believe that they're in Rouse's. So give them a try. Don't knock it till you try it. All right, Lloyd. Mistake of the day brought to you by our friends at Dozy Place.
I feel like we all know the mistake of the day. As
I didn't know if you're going to go with it.
And somebody went live yesterday on accident, and then
How do you go live on accident?
I don't know.
There's a lot of buttons you got to press. I don't really know how that happens. But
Was he live before and just didn't cut it off?
that's the only way I can guess it. It's like either you were live or already on your own.
Did you watch
story or
Yeah, there's nothing to see. It's
there's
all
nothing to watch.
No. But did you when it was live? Did you
Oh no, I didn't catch it.
Okay,
I wish I
yeah.
would have. But I mean, this is just an all-time moment.
Can you imagine the panic that set in once he figured out what was going on or why his phone was getting blown up?
Dude. Oh, also side note, Fuaga doubtful
Really?
this week. It just came on the wire. Oof. Anyway, go ahead.
I just played some of
you
the
just played
audio. Yeah.
Okay.
But it goes from, like you said, mistake of the day to when he says my IG, Instagram, whatever, live was hacked. And now I feel like that wasn't true, Shannon. We all knew that. So he does the ultimate tease leading up to their show with Ocho Cinco, Nightcap, where he goes, I have to, he makes the announcement off the rip. It's like, no, that was me. And then there was no way he was going to get away with that with Ocho Cinco for any amount of time. So he's like, I'm going to have to get in front of this because I'm about to get dragged.
And that's the way to do it.
Yes, of course.
And that's the way to do it.
It's the way to do it all the time.
Honestly, that could be the mistake and the curtain call because that is an embarrassing moment for him. That's something where people are going to try to fight it and they're going to try to go against it. He embraced it and he was like, no, that was me. Single man. He was partaking in
Healthy activity.
Healthy activity
is how he phrased it. And he
good morning
admitted look,
cardio.
he came up and admitted it and better than denying something that everybody knows is you're lying.
My team and I are working vigorously to figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you were working
You
vigorously.
were working vigorously, but it wasn't your team.
But it's just an all-time moment for somebody that it feels like Shannon is kind of on top of the media world. He was doing it for a long time, but now he's been doing it and being more popular than ever, I would say. And do you still work with ESPN?
Yeah.
They're not going to do anything.
No,
I would
no.
imagine. This is a harmless
He probably had the
mistake.
week off too, so it
Yeah.
was like.
Yeah, no, they're not doing anything.
Because the Paul Pierce one was very much a different way of handling
Yeah, the Paul
things.
Pierce one was just there's a lot
That's
of
trying
optics
to
that go into that one.
That one was intentional.
Just didn't work.
That one was
That's
intentional.
a little different right there.
This one was not intentional.
Well, I can't party?
Yeah, that one was
Fireable offense.
Yep.
That's I want to lose my job.
Yeah, that's I don't really care about this daytime thing.
I'm tired of
I got other plans.
Yeah, I don't want to watch
good ones.
Orlando play the Hawks.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was not good. It's good. Good mistake of the day.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I think that's everybody's mistake of the day.
No doubt. Curtain call.
It's just so funny how he has the perfect show to be able to be like, damn, the show just got so much better today because of you.
No doubt.
Instead of them having to, every other world, it's like, oh, I don't know if I can go live today. Like, I'm going to try to run from it. It's like, get your ass over here. We got to talk.
This is what we needed. Run them numbers up.
Curtain call.
Brought to you by our friends at Mead Heavy Civil.
Mead
Heavy Civil specializes in land development and infrastructure projects across public works, residential, industrial, and commercial industries. From coastal restoration and large-scale excavations to solar farms and oil and gas pipelines, Mead is a powerhouse moving Louisiana forward with complete start-to-finish construction expertise. If this interests you, visit meadheavycivil.com or give Kiefer Sanders a call at 985-518-6774. Tell them we sent you. Everybody likes to move forward. Moving forward is positive movement, and that's what everybody likes. So curtain call is brought to you by our friends at Mead Heavy Civil. Lloyd, you got
Curtain
one.
call. LSU, Mead Heavy Civil website's fire. I've never seen dirt look so cool. And they just put a little, look at this. They put a little graphic over it.
Wow, look at that.
I mean, it's kind of like watching
It's kind of
Planet
satisfying.
Earth.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you
making
just want to
my
go to the
head spin right
website, yeah, and just kind of look at the rocks and the water. Not a bad little background. Speaking of backgrounds and what you'll need if you're a huge LSU Tiger fan, the baseball schedule has been released.
There you go.
No Ole Miss.
No Ole Miss. Look who comes in at the end of the season.
That's the national championship.
No, end of the regular season.
Tennessee, Georgia,
No.
Arkansas.
Well, let's see you get there.
South
Comes and look where
Carolina.
you
South
go.
Carolina.
Do you think he's going to be on game day?
No.
No.
They announced who the guest was. He's not going to be him.
Do you think he'll be on is the SEC network going to be there too? I feel like that's the kind of the.
I don't think they take the game day game. I think they go somewhere else. I don't think.
Yeah.
It's
Very rarely do they take the game. It would make sense for them.
Yeah, to do both.
Can't do pregame shows. They got
I
two
just-
different pregame.
I don't know if Paul would be like the guest picker, but I wouldn't be surprised if he made an appearance. Talk about both. I mean, who else could talk about both?
Doubtful.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'd like to see him.
That would be great. I just don't think.
I like to see him up there, but I don't think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, curtain call.
Yeah, man. I mean, let's be honest. Like for what goes down here, usually when hurricanes usually do touch, it kind of I think the state of Louisiana made out good with this one for all things considered. So thank you, Francine, for kind of getting on through here and not doing too much, if you will.
Curtain call to the resiliency
Yeah.
of Louisiana
There you go.
and the coast.
There you go.
And everyone here, damn it. Damn it. I didn't mean to knock it down. I didn't have it in my hand. Dropped it. Had it, dropped it. All right. My curtain call is going to be a future curtain call. It's not a winning streak until you win 2 in a row. So I'm going to do this right now. My curtain call is to the Mik'd up parlay
Of the day.
going 2-0.
2-1.
2-1, but going
2-0 in the
straight.
last 2 weeks.
2 straight.
Jesus.
Don't call it a 1 streak.
Mush.
I did this.
I mean,
nope.
just
Time
mushed
out. I did this last week, and we won it.
Not out loud.
Yes, I did. That was my curtain call last week.
We'll
So
see.
I don't know.
If there's a bad beat on that thing, we're not doing that segment anymore.
Y'all don't love that I just did that?
No.
No,
I
it's
told you I don't talk
not your
about
best
these.
move.
Yeah, I don't talk about these things.
Lloyd's not gonna bet it now.
The bet is
bullshit.
not in on this
I've already
side.
bet it.
Yeah, I know. You have to for the graphic.
No, you gotta do it. You gotta bet it. I hope you know what? Don't bet it. I'm gonna win it. Give me all the money. It's fine. You don't want to join in on me. It's okay.
It's not like we're splitting the profits over there. They got paid.
No, but you're not putting the money in to win profits.
That's true.
You know.
Or maybe I am. Maybe I've already done it.
Maybe you have. I hope
Yeah,
you do.
It's okay. We know.
All right. Before we go, actually, predictions on the game.
I got LSU by 10.
So you had them covering. Over under? You know final score? Final score?
Final score?
Final score, huh? 38-28.
Oh, a little high scoring. So they're gonna cover the spread too.
38-28.
I mean, no, they're gonna go over.
Total.
What?
10-point win.
Total.
Oh, total. Yeah, I thought you said turtle. I was like, what does that mean?
I don't know if that's what I really think is going to happen or what I feel like I need to see to happen for me to feel like,
Okay.
all right, they're headed in the right direction. It's probably somewhere in the middle of those two, but that's what I'm going to go with.
You got.
31-17 Tigers.
Oh, I was going 30-17. I'm going 30-17 Tigers. I like the 17. I feel like 30 is a good number. You know what? I'm going to go 34-17.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, I'm going to go 34-17 LSU.
Just go 35.
So why haven't you bet it yet?
I guess I'm going to do it. I guess I'm going to do it right now.
Talk about I know exactly what's going to happen. Here's my numbers. Here's who's going to win.
34-17.
Sounds like an easy bet.
Well, why are you waiting to bet it then?
Yeah. You got them covering. You got the total. Do it all. Third in the parlay.
Maybe make my own parlay. Just my own LSU parlay.
Go ahead, couple it with some Sunday stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
see,
even got
y'all are
top.
bad influence on me.
You got top tonight.
All right. That's all we got for today and this weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope if there's any type of cleanup going on, hope you get it done and clear it out before Saturday. And Saturday, it's going to be beautiful weather this weekend to watch college football. Obviously, LSU, South Carolina early on. Drink some coffee, watch the game, and then you get to relax the rest of the day after LSU hopefully gets the dub. We appreciate all love and support. We appreciate you tuning in. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you don't like watching us but like listening to us or anywhere you get your pods. Enjoy Thursday Night Football tonight. Well, actually, this is going to be on Friday. So I hope you enjoyed Thursday Night Football.
Hell of a game.
And, yeah, it's going to be a hell of a game, I'd imagine. Someone's going to win. Someone's going to lose.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
And, well, no, hopefully that's not the case. I don't think we should wish on that.
Just mushing the people.
Yep.
God.
Y'all wish me luck on our member guest. I'm looking forward to
Good luck. That's
making a push forward. You know, just like Mead Heavy Silver, pushing forward in my golf game. So we love you. We appreciate y'all. Enjoy the rest of your week. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you on Monday. Peace.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.